Welcome to another very exciting episode of Listen to the Heartbeat. And calling in from London is Chanel, an honored guest and a friend. And I thank Chanel for taking the time out to share with us her journey on recognizing the little girl in her and how the little girl is now becoming a warning sign to not abandon herself anymore by wanting validation from people, places, and things. Chanel, again, thank you for the time you're taking now. Thank your husband. And the floor is yours. Tell us about how you began to recognize that the little girl in you was also teaching you when you wanted outside validation.
I think, hi Alan, hi everybody. Yeah, for me, I think I've always been somebody that has looked for outside validation in my life. I've never felt like I was good enough. I've never felt like I was good enough, although I will show a different side of myself. And what I'm coming to sort of learn, and I'm on this journey of finding my true self now. So throughout my life, I've fitted in and blended in to many different places, but I've never really, if I'm honest with you, been true to myself. Um, I've always tried to fit into the ideology of others' opinion of me, and I'll be who you want me to be. And I started a journey nearly 4 years ago now, and it's been sometimes fast progress, but of late I've really had to slow things down, and it's because that little girl inside of me has a lot of work that needs to be done. And this is where we are now. Of recently, most recently, I've realised that um, that little girl does need to be listened to, um, because I don't think she liked the many personas that I sort of fitted into for other people, if that makes sense.
It
I
does.
don't think that little girl knows me better than anyone else. She's been with me for my life. She knows all of the, um, how can I say it? She knows all of the survival instincts that I developed over the years. She knows all of the characters and all of the lies and and how I'm not or haven't been so true to myself. So lately, I am doing things to please the little girl, and sometimes it can seem, I still have my moments where I'm like, oh, this is going to be so silly, but I have to be true to me and that little girl because inevitably, what I've learned is that, and I'm coming to learn it even more, not everybody is going to like the true Chanel, but I've always got to be with the true Chanel, if that makes sense. I'm always going to have to live with her, so I have to learn to love her, um, her quirks, her 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 wobbles, her fears, her insecurities. I've got to learn to deal with them and heal the little bits of me that is, still broken. I don't think healing is a journey that's ever going to be done, Aaron. I think that's something that's always going to be happening. There's always going to be situations in my life where I'm going to meet something and realize that that's a little broken bit and that's going to need healing. And to do that, I need to listen to the little girl, if that makes sense.
It make a lot of sense. So, when did you have the first indication that you are who you've been looking for? When we talk about that inner child, right? I
Mm-hmm.
like to say, when you woke up and you found out you were looking for you actually have the teammate that will accept you, that will appreciate you, that will remind you, as the little short you posted, that you are worthy of growing up with the whole you.
Do you know what? I got tired. I got tired. I got tired. Sorry, my little girl's tired. If you can hear her crying. Yeah, I got tired of trying to be the healer of everybody else's life. One second, Aaron, can I just go and see if that out? Just
Please,
quick one
please,
second.
please.
One second. Yeah, Aaron.
Again, we have Chanel calling in London, and she's sharing with us her new experience and acceptance of the little one in her who's always going to be with her. Therefore, the external waste of energy in considering what others think about us and who we can please on the outside, she came to a conclusion that it's worth allowing the young lady in her to mature along with her. She mentioned that she's going to be with her, whether she's going to the left or the right. So she's deciding to be true to herself. Chanel, have you made it back yet?
Yeah, I'm back. I'm back. I'm so sorry. My kids are. It's that time of night. And they're tired and they're in bed. And you, Aaron, you called me as I was just putting them to bed. So I'll put a break on that. But no, they're all right now. They're tucked in and they're watching their TV. Um, I think you asked me what made me come to that. That realization. And here's the fact, right? We and Aaron, you're familiar with the program. The program that I went through was that I had to abandon myself to God, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I did that. I abandoned myself to God. That meant, and I know I took it wrong in some senses because I felt like that meant walking away from myself, right, to be with God. But what I didn't do at that point was take that little girl with me. Do you get where I abandoned the little girl, sorry, and sort of myself. So I just went to God, and I was just this shell doing things to please people. And a lot of the time, I've done other things, and I'm in situations now where I do try and help people, and I'm at a place. I've got to be careful where I go with this. I'm at a place where not everybody wants helping, and I got tired recently. I got really, really tired, and it was playing with, you know, me as a person. I didn't know who I was. I didn't know what I liked. I didn't know if I was truly doing things because I was enjoying that. I was allowing things that I think I was allowing them because there's an empath in me, but at the same time, I was abandoning myself to this sense of almost feeling like I was being abused. And then it was messing with my sort of defect. It was bringing out defects of character in me until I had to find another way to deal with that. Listen to the little girl. I had to listen to the little girl. Actually, I don't have to react to people. I just need to know where I'm putting myself. Why am I placing or taking that little girl with me in certain situations? And that there's an element of that, Aaron, which means I have to prioritize my own needs, if that makes sense.
It make a lot of sense, and I would like to ask you, how are you going to go somewhere without taking her? So how am I going to go somewhere without taking him? In other words, I are you silence that other part of me, right? You mentioned being an empath. One thing that most empaths are not aware of is that we pick up on damn near all energy. And we have to learn to separate whoever's energy it is from ourselves,
Exactly.
right? And when one learns to do that, then the separation will not feel as though we've been in a narcissistic, abusive relationship. But in most cases, most people is crazy as hell. And being an empath, we attract the crazies, or the crazies are attracted to us. It's not because we're weak and we lack anything. They're attracted to us because they are aware that we don't know who we are. They do not attack or are attached to. And watch those two words. They do not attack or attach to weak people. Then we
Yeah.
go through the I'ma be the savior, only to find out, and you said it real well, that most people don't want help. They want a handout. They want to
Yeah.
live. They want to live through us.
Mm,
And when we play that role, they take credit. And then just like the narcissistic abuse, it's almost like they love bomb us with their, oh, I need some help. I need some help. They love bomb us that way. Then when they find out they cannot be us who are being authentic, genuinely caring for and wanting to be a part of the growth of another person's life, they turn around and devalue us. That's when they start the smear campaigns, the gaslighting, and they search for their flying monkeys so that they could devalue and discredit us because they pissed off because they tried to copy us. They pissed off. They found out we was the original. We just didn't know.
and that's where I found that little girl, Aaron, because if I continued to listen to other people's version of me that they made up in their head, because I wasn't being the version of me that they thought I was or they wanted me to be, I had two choices. I either walked away from the little girl to become and remain in that version that they saw me or wanted me to be. I remained that role in their life, or I walked back to the little girl, who says that's not you. This is not us. This is the journey that we're walking on. Like we're on a different journey, mum. We're going here and we're healing. This is getting in the way of our healing. See, anything that's triggering or waking up that little girl to scream at me, like, Mom, like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? It's like when I used to drink and I used to do things. My kids was around and they'd be like, Mommy, no, no, stop. It's like the little girl inside me is doing that now. I'm sober. Do you know what I mean? So when I'm hearing that, Karen, from the inside of me, deep in the core of me, and I know it's coming from that inner child, yeah, who has walked with me for 43 years, yeah, in this dimension, yeah, that's it. We're not going back. We're not making them same mistakes. We're not allowing them things to go on. It's not about boundaries, like I said, I'm an empath. Sometimes my boundaries get overlooked because I know that when there's a genuine person who genuinely wants or is receptive to what I have to offer, yeah, not two people ain't gonna offer the same thing, and I know what I have to offer, right? If someone's receptive to that, then me and you can vibe. But if it's something where it's triggering or waking up the little girl in me, and like what you just spoke about, you're making up things, you're gaslighting, you're making your problems become my problems, stuff like that. I have to walk with the little girl, if that makes sense. I
Right.
have to be an empath to the little girl inside of me.
And so the next question was, in watching your little short, you talked about how that little one in you, I like to call them my big brother or our big sister because when they screaming and hollering, it's like our the intuition in us that we used to couldn't hear no more because we was out in the shenanigans, right? You talked about maturing to the point to where you you have to become aware of her signals to you when you're on this external validation trip. Tell me about that. Tell us about that.
So, so it's like the cues, isn't it? It's like the cues. That's what I was speaking about there. So if I'm making a decision to walk away from a situation that is unhealthy for me, sometimes that might upset people. And there's a part of me that wants to solve everybody's problems, or I want to be accepted by everybody. And sometimes I got to walk. Do you know what? A lot of time I've realized today that I've got to walk away from that because that part of me will put me in problem, Aaron. That is that part of me that wants everybody to think that I'm going to solve your problems. I'm going to make everything okay. It's not the case if that makes sense.
It's
Really,
it
I'm not going to make everything okay.
it sounds like not only the little girl, but the people that has been put in your life by the Most High is to show you, even though you have unconditional love, right? Everybody ain't worthy of it. Some of these individuals genuinely attempt to live through us. We are the we are the embodiment of what they desire, but yet they don't want to do the work. And tapping into the little girl or your big sister or my little boy or my big brother, right? It even empowers me even more because some come into our life to increase our ascension. It don't mean they coming with us, nor
Yeah.
do, nor do it mean that they worthy at this moment.
Yeah.
I'll give you a scenario. This morning, I was woke up by a whole bunch of voices saying, thank you released me. And it was like I was in a time travel down my bloodline. And it's something I've done that released them. So every part of our journey is some of us are breaking family curses. I don't want to use the word. We're breaking generational curses. And this morning there was so many people. They was like Esau. And when I hear the word Esau, I know they know me from way back when. Esau. Some of them were saying Sade. So I know they ain't number family members, right? And I was like, wow. And then I'm looking at this is the first day of December, the last month of the year, and we got two moons in the sky. We got the Sagittarius moon. I mean, we locked in for the next 3 days, Sagittarius. Everybody get to point their arrow to wherever they want to point it to, and it's a done deal, right? Then there's another moon in retrograde in Mercury. We got two moons. This is symbolic of the universe asking everybody, come on, y'all, what you want? We're going to conspire to help you get there, right? And on top of that, look, sis, do you know all the planets in the universe is lining up?
Yeah.
Not
And you
just,
know
go ahead.
what I also heard the other day, and I read it, and it's so poignant for this right now, like because I heard that Sagittarius is going into what is it, Aaron? Sagittarius is going into an Aquarius. I mean, what's the planet that's just met with Aquarius?
What I do know is this: the whole cosmos that we in now,
It's a mining. I need to tell you this. Stay there.
look, the whole galaxy we live in
Yeah.
is locked into a planet called Sagittarius, not the sign. And so this is a great opportunity for those of us
Yeah.
who wants to stop participating in the matrix. Now, I believe what you're talking about. Now, Sagittarius has lined up with the age of Aquarius.
And
Uh,
this is what I was talking about. Pluto will enter Aquarius, and that happened on the 19th of November. The last time that happened, right, we
mhm.
had a revolution, and we didn't go against. Well, we did. We went against the powers that be, and the powers that be in Parliament and stuff like that. For me, this is directly in line with what I'm doing with the little girl. I'm saying no when I mean no. I'm not saying yes when I mean no anymore
Good
because
for
it
you.
was all for validation. Does that make sense?
Good for
I'm
you.
saying yes when I meant no and no when I meant yes. Because if it meant that you liked me, I'd tell you what you wanted to hear. And right now, that's not healthy because, everyone around me is happy as long as I'm telling them what they want to hear.
Right.
And that's not being kind to myself because when I come home after saying yes when I mean no and no when I mean yes, I'm broken. I'm tired. And that's, your question, what compelled me to do this? I'm tired. I'm so tired, and I do believe that that validation part in me is a trauma response. It's a response to my childhood trauma. It's my response to trying to keep everyone happy. You know, when things were going wrong in my childhood home, I'd always, jump up and do everything to make everyone happy. And the same for my sisters, and I know they won't mind me mentioning this if they see this. We've always we've always smiled when we're sad. We've always laughed when we've wanted to cry because, as far as anyone else is concerned, we're a normal family. And I don't do that anymore. I'm not going to do that to the little girl anymore. I'm going to teach her to say what she means and do what she means because it's psychopathic, isn't it? To pretend you're happy when you're not.
Mhm.
It's quite a psychopathic tendency, isn't it?
Mhm.
Kind of reminds me of sort of like, the sort of stuff like people like Ted Bundy did. That wasn't right in the head, and then pretend they were completely okay and sane. It's insane behavior, and I won't do that anymore because I am enough when I am me and true to myself. So this year, this year's growth for me, Aaron, is living in my genuine self, not being afraid of not being liked.
And to add to that, I think it was the Oxford or Cambridge University. They did a study, right, on love, and they had humans literally connected, have all the things on their head, and they was monitoring the frequency of love, right? But one of the individuals, they sent a dream to him, and in the dream, he turned every incident that they were sending him, anxiety, fear, and all that, he turned it into authenticity. And
Yeah,
it showed up 4,000 times more than love. So I commend you on being on the journey to be your authentic self, where you could heal from whatever it is by allowing the truth to use its frequency to allow you to change from this frequency of trauma, let your no be no, so that you don't trauma bond, and say yes when you mean no, and then suffer in silence. So I commend you, you know. I really, really commend you. When I heard your chart, I think it was this morning or last night, why it was important to get a 30-minute or so episode from you was I heard you taking accountability and responsibility, and that's, I'm sorry to say, but most women don't want to take accountability for nothing, right?
I have to.
And when I heard that, I mean, I immediately said, God, thank her husband, right?
Mm,
Because he must still be on that, providing a safe place. And when you come to that safe place with your children, you can say, as you said earlier, you know what? Man, that shenanigans right there is draining. I need to stop that. Right?
There's things that my children teach me a lot. And actually, with the child, that is inside of me. I think the word I used the other day was I'm possessed by that child inside me, you know. And when I hear my children doing what you just heard, which I have to respond to, I have to respond to the inner child in the same way today, Aaron. I have
So,
to, you know, I have to nurture that child inside of me.
so one more question before we close. Do you ever remember a time when you was always defensive if a question was presented to you? And if you had that experience, how are you, or how have you grown out of it? Or how are you growing out of it by being defensive?
Um, Not so much questions. Um, I get defensive when, and I'm learning this more. This is all part of the same journey. I kind of get not defensive. I feel like a failure when I can't sort people's problems out, and it's harmful to me in the end, if that makes sense.
Okay, so you've been used to, well, you said it, putting on a smile when in reality you sad. And so
Yeah.
taking on, one of the deals about being an empath, right? It's spooky because some of us are super empaths. It's spooky because being an empath is also like being those other people's karma. And um, we reflect a frequency and an energy or aura. They see it. Trust me.
Mm,
They see it and they attracted to it. Like flies from boo boo, right?
mm,
Because just to be with you, I was with Chanel. Shit, right? And we ain't thinking nothing with that. I was with him. We ain't thinking nothing of that. We're being our authentic self, genuinely most empaths. We don't want others to experience what we have experienced. Therefore, we can endure a whole lot.
mm.
But at some point, we go to the well and ain't nothing there. And then we say, you know what? I accept the fact I've been manipulated. I accept the fact I've been used. I accept. I don't blame nobody. I blame myself.
Yeah,
And that
exactly.
and that infuriates them because they need us to blame them so they can say, you see, you got the problem. So we're
And that's where you get tired, Aaron, and that's why I've got to listen to the little girl inside. I'm not, you know, that doesn't mean that um, I'm not gonna, you know, give my because I believe I'm a blessing. You know, God makes me a blessing. He's using me to bless people. I think you said it really well. Like, you know, I have to be careful where I'm putting that because is um not everybody deserves that.
it's not
They
that
don't.
it's not that they don't deserve it, sister. It's that sometimes we can't see those smiling faces as energy vampires.
Mm. It's harmful to put yourself in every single space and try and be the the light, to people's life when really I've been in situations, and I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it. You know why? Because I'm being true to myself. I've been in spaces where I've not even tried to shine my light, and the people that I'm around, um, that light pains them. It hurts them, and I'm all love with that. I'm all love with that, and I'm getting attacked. And that's not me trying to say that in a self-righteous way. That's me trying to say I can't be my genuine self around people because it it sometimes leaves me in a place of attack.
But I got a surprise for you.
Mm,
It's impossible not to be your genuine, authentic self. And it's not our fault that the creator made us as other people's karma. We walk in the room and what they see the trauma they running from. They see the drama that they running from. They see the lies they running from. And we don't even have to say nothing. We just have to walk in the room. It's
yeah.
impossible not to be our authentic self. I'll give you an example. I didn't got to a level where disrespect I don't tolerate. And that's affecting some people that I used to give access to me. Right. And do I love them dearly? But it does not mean I can't love them from a distance. Will,
Mm,
will I jump over a wall to protect their life if I can? I will. Will I take that shot so that they can live one more day? I will. But it does not mean that I have to give them access to me until they're mature enough because I am going to always be the reflection of the part of them that they are not healed from yet. That's who we are. Have you ever experienced and asked yourself a question? Damn, I ain't got that much and they want that. Well, we be thinking that they want the material stuff. They want the light that we don't see we have. See, they want the empathy because some of them lack empathy. They want the authenticity because some of them lack the ability. You know that book that we both read, part of that organization that said this couple people ain't gonna get it. Those who constitutionally incapable of being honest with themselves. So that if we can't demonstrate the frequency of honesty, which is part of the heart, right? Then we're on a low vibration.
mhm.
And they already know, you know what? We used to can make Aaron snap. We used to can make Chanel snap. Now they just walking away. Damn, we couldn't even get a reaction out of them. So it forces them to take a look at the area of their life where they have to improve. It wasn't until recently that a young lady brought it to my attention. She said, "Look, man, you got big energy, dude. You may not know it." And she said, "Listen, talk to so and so." And I went and talked to this lady. This lady got the ability to see fucking auras and entities and shit, right? Like she was in the time of King Solomon. She said, "Man, when I seen you walking up, it was on Wednesday, Wisdom Wednesday. I was going to speak." She said, "Can I tell you something?" I said, "Yeah." She said, "You ain't by yourself."
Oh wow.
She said, "You ain't by yourself. There's a whole bunch of people with you, boy. You just can't see them, right?" And so I'm honored, number one, to be able to have this interview with you, um, because I've watched you grow, and I heard a lot of maturity in you taking accountability and allowing the whole you to grow up, right? And what got me was you said, I get some cues from my little sister, right? He said, "Wait, hold up. What, you leaving me?" Well, really? And no matter where you go or how much you don't want to take me, in reality, you taking me. I just go quiet because you ain't listening. Why don't we have a conversation with each other? I thought that was so damn mature by accepting your own responsibility. And then you get to further it by reminding us there's a high time for us to start saying no when we mean no. And yes when we mean yes. Almost biblical because the Bible even said it. Let your nay be nay and your yea be yea. Right?
Mm-hmm.
In other words, that's helping us to develop not taking on other people's stuff. Right? Again, Chanel, I want to thank you for coming to listen to the heartbeat. Listen to the Heartbeat is a platform where you matter. If anybody who hear this have a story you want to share, you can find me at Listen to the Heartbeat. Just click on any browser and put Listen to the Heartbeat by Aaron G. You can find me on many of them platforms that this represent. And I want to remind you even what the sister said when she was closing in her little short. You matter. You enough. You have to know that you are enough. You have to know that you matter. And if you want to get rid of the matrix, stop feeding it.
Mm.
We logging off. This is Aaron G. With Listen to the Heartbeat. And so I'll get to close that part. And so when we do this, we also it also goes